Hello friends and welcome to My Hobby Home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, welcome and thank you so much for clicking on the video to see what we have going on. And if you're not new, thank you for coming back and joining again. If you see right here what I have on my table, and you probably saw by the thumbnail, we are working on our disappearing 4-patch. This is a quilt or sew along that I have going on. It's not a quilt along because we're not quilting it yet. What we have done is you can take 2 charm packs to do this. You can do a charm pack of a solid and a charm pack of a print. What I've done, I have a tone on tone here. I have a white on white. And I have my Kitty Christmas charm pack. I lost my words there for a second. But what I'm doing now is we are now in the steps of where we're cutting and then reassembling the square. So let me give you a little bit of information. If you're new here, you may not know this. I do have a Facebook group. The link is down in the description, where if you'd like to, you can join along, post pictures under the post for the disappearing 4-patch if you'd like to join. If you go to my Facebook page, you will have to request approval to join. And if you are a new member of Facebook, I will most likely decline your request. I have been receiving a lot of requests for approvals from what looks like scams or spams or whatever you're going to call them. Not real people. Bots is what we used to call them. And they're all new within 2023, 2024, and they just don't look like they are quilters. And when I go to their profile, there's really nothing to see. So if you are interested in becoming part of the Facebook group and you're new to Facebook, my email address is down in the description. Also, email me. Let me know what your name will be on Facebook and that you're interested in joining the Facebook group. And then go and request approval again. Once I get that email, I will approve it. So I just do that to keep our group safe. I don't want any spam out there, and I will tell y'all, I have seen it already in YouTube. Something has come in there and duplicated my channel name and said, like, you won something. If you ever see anything like that, it is not me. I will do a video like this one. So those that was in the Silverstone sew along, you know I have a prize coming out. Y'all stay to the end and I'll tell you who the winner of that box is. But what we're doing right now is the sew along. I have 2 sew alongs that are currently going on. I have Grandma's Scrap Quilt and I have the disappearing 4-patch. So today you will see the disappearing 4-patch. You should see the Grandma's Scrap Quilt tomorrow. I will tell you, if you don't see it, it may be pushed off to another weekend. But just know that you'll always have content 9 a.m. Saturday morning and Sunday morning, you know, as long as everything's okay. So let's get on into this. First thing we've done is we have sewn our 4 pieces together. And now I've pressed everything out. I always press to the printed side. So what I will do now, and I do need to get some pins here. Get my little caddy that's got magnetic ends there. because I will be needing that. I do one at a time. You'll see I have a whole stack there that's not been touched. That is because I would get way too confused if I did more than one at a time. So what I'm doing is I'm taking, okay, I have a 2.5 by, I think it's 18, 2.5 by 18 inch ruler here. I'm lining up on that 1 inch mark because we want 1 inch on both sides. I'm pretty certain it's 1 inch. I may need to pull my instructions. Let me pull my instructions. I did check. It is 1 inch on both sides of each seam. Like your T seam, you're going to do 1 inch here, 1 inch here. And then this one, you're going to do 1 inch here and 1 inch here. So I'm just pressing my ruler down. And a rotating mat I have found is a must for this, because this way you don't move the fabric at all. And you'll see this is all the space I have in my sewing room to cut on. A very small area, but we make do with what we have. Okay, then I'm going to turn it to go the crossways of that and make sure I'm on that 1 inch mark. Whoops, my ruler just slipped. That gets me to, I have an Amazon haul coming in that I'm going to show y'all what I got, and it should stop that, because what that just did, I have a miscut on that piece of fabric. Okay, so now that we have this cut, what we do, I just pull my corners out just a little bit. I kind of separate everything. So now you'll see I have 9 individual pieces. So I'm going to kind of, I hope you can see this. I'm going to hold it up. I'm hoping it's not cutting off over here. I've noticed when I record, it cuts off further over here than what I can see. I can see on my bookshelf right here. A lot of times y'all cannot see that. Let me pull it over here so hopefully you'll see this. Okay, you see how I leave the 4 corner squares alone. I take this one and flip it around. This one, I flip it around. And I continue to do so all the way around. Those 4 cross ones, I flip. Now this center one, I flip it to where the gray that was over here is now over here. The blue that was over here is now over here. So what I will start doing is I will take that center one that I flipped, I will just flip it over on my solid, and I will just start sewing on this. Now, I'm giving these instructions for those that have not seen this yet and you're new. If you're not new, hey, y'all just get to hear me talk a little bit more. And I just noticed something on one of my pieces here. I'm going to turn it here and trim it up a little bit. I have that pinked edge and I didn't trim it. So I'm just trimming it off right there so it's not, so it don't cause me any problems. Now you will see me scoot back and forth here because if you've watched any time at all, you know I'm back and forth, and I like to be centered with my machine, and I am not quite centered over there. So what I'm going to do is that top row first, the first 2 of it, And then I will go to the middle two. Now, of course, this has a seam here that we have to pin together. I have to pin together. You may not need to. And y'all, I'm just going to forewarn, I'm going to try to give you guys an hour today. May not be an hour, but I'm going to try. Which that means I'll just sew an hour and a half. And when I edit out, it should end up about an hour. Okay. And y'all, this kitty Christmas is so pretty. I did go to one of my quilt shops today. I had to pick up a clue for my block of the month. And they had some patterns in there that I am so interested in. And I may end up running back over there tomorrow. Now that we have these done, I'm going to lay these back where they are and how they are. And we're going to start back with our top one again. And we're just going to match those up. And then we'll match these up. And once again, we have that seam again that we need to, it's not necessarily nesting, but we're kind of butting these two seams up so that that line is straight. And I hope you guys are having a fabulous start to your weekend. It is beautiful here right now. Well, I say beautiful, but it has been raining for like 3 days. I'm fine with the rain for 3 days, though. That reminds me, I need to go out and cut my irrigation off again. I paused it yesterday, but I think I'm going to cut it off today because we have rain in the forecast. And I don't need to be irrigating because my water bill was, whoo, it was outright $20 more than normal. So yeah, the irrigation has got to stop. It wasn't this much last month. Okay, so now we're done with those. I may need to press, but let me see. Yes, I think I am going to press, so I'll be right back. Okay, I now have these pressed, and you can see there I have them sewn together in rows. So what I'm going to do is just flip and pin. I have 3 seams on each one of these now that I have to pin. And after they're pressed, they're a lot easier to do. It's just until they're pressed, they're not real easy to do. So now we just sew each of our rows together. We have everything pinned. So now that we have everything pinned, and honestly, y'all, mine don't always come out matching. And I know that can happen. I do my best to make it, you know, match up and be even and all, but sometimes it just does not. And that's okay if it don't. I mean, as long as it's not too far off, we're okay. Okay, so now I'm going to add my next row. And one thing to make sure of is, as pinning, make sure you have it laid the direction that you will be sewing it. Because if not, you'll be putting your pins in the back side of it. I've done that. And it makes it hard to really see the... I'm not centered on my machine again, y'all. I try not to have to move too much, but sometimes you just have to. Okay, so now we have this whole block put together. Let me press and I'll show it. I will show you what it looks like. Okay, and here is this completed block. Now, y'all, we will have to trim these down to an 8-inch block. Right now, they are a little bit bigger than an 8-inch block, but I will be trimming mine down. I think I may be out of view there, y'all. I'm sorry. I will be trimming mine down after I finish cutting and sewing all of them. And I hope I'm not cut out when I come over here, because like I said before, I've noticed that my frame when I'm videoing is not as big as what I'm seeing on my camera here. But if I'm cutting myself out, that means I'm cutting all of this out down here too. But I hope you can see this. Because, y'all, I love this pattern. I mean, I can see this pattern working out with any kind of fabric. I just so happen to have Christmas. I all the time have Christmas fabric that I can use on anything. I've got a whole lot of Christmas fabric that I bought last year when I had no clue what I was doing. And I think some of it's not 100% cotton or something. It's just really rough fabric. But it will be made into something. Even if it's a handbag, it will be made into something. Or a... Oh, y'all, today I saw an apron pattern in one of my local quilt shops. It was so cute. I mean, just adorable. And they had a cute little dress pattern in there. And the only thing I didn't like about that dress pattern was the collar. It kind of had a ruffle thing. That's just too much going on. But the dress itself was really cute. I'm sure I can figure out how to take that off, but okay. Making sure I have everything turned right. I do. Normally I have it like this. Let me do it this way. So I have, I still kind of have it all going in the same direction, because I want to sew everything the same direction. So when it's time to put everything together, there's not an issue. But hey, if I didn't have an issue, that would be an issue. Something would be wrong if I didn't have an issue. And if you saw my video from yesterday, I know it might have been hard to watch because all I was doing was cutting fabric for an upcoming National Sew a Jelly Roll Day. I was just cutting some fabric because the pattern that I am using does call for more than one fabric. It calls for 2 different fabrics, a binding and backing. So, I'm just trimming that pink end off of that, y'all. But I'm telling you, I don't know what happened yesterday. But I cut and messed up and cut and messed up. But that's okay, because eventually it's still going to turn out into a quilt. And I just wanted to get my fabrics cut for that. I wanted to get my fabrics cut for that so I could have that part done. That is going to be the quilt that I am making on National Sew a Jelly Roll Day. I will be on a live. And I completely forgot to check my calendar. I said I was going to and I would let y'all know. But I completely forgot to check my calendar. But it is going to be probably that morning sometime. But I'm very excited about it. I get excited about sewing a jelly roll anyway because a jelly roll has to be my favorite pre-cut to use. And well, that and who don't like a good charm pack? A good charm pack is, man, it's great. But a jelly roll was the first thing I ever made a quilt out of. So I'm kind of partial to jelly rolls because I didn't have a clue what they were when I made my first quilt. I just sewed. And that's all I was looking to do. I knew I had a grandbaby on the way. And I wanted to make her a quilt. And I did. And I didn't even bind it how I bind now. I use that binding tape or whatever that was. I just used what I could find because I didn't have a clue what I was doing at all. But it turned out real cute. And I know she has used it. I don't know if she still uses it. My daughter, I asked her the other day, you know, because I hadn't seen her use the quilt that I had made for my grandson. And she's like, yeah, it's in the bedroom. I don't want to get it out because she has a dog. And she's like, I don't want him to lay on it and get dog hair on it. She's like, because I can't wash it. I'm like, yes, you can. You can wash that more times than you wash your clothes that you buy from the store. I'm like, because that's put together way better than anything you buy at a store. And if it comes apart, the person that made it is right here. I mean, I can fix it easy. But she's like, I just don't want the dog. And I understand that because I don't want the dog to get on it either. Because that dog has a tendency. Now, I know she loves her dog. But that dog has a tendency to chew on blankets. It nuzzles them. He was taken away from his mama too early, so he still suckles on everything. And he suckles it until it's a hole in it. So we don't want that. But she doesn't want her dog to get a hold of the quilt. Neither do I, so I understand it. But my grandson don't never stay in his room. I tried telling my daughter she didn't want to start that. She didn't want to start him sleeping with her. Well, she did. So now she wakes up 3 o'clock in the morning with a baby slapping her in the face. Wow, he hungry. So he's got a play friend when he wakes up. Instead of him laying there maybe going back to sleep, he wakes up all the way and is ready to play. She complains about not getting any sleep, but I bet you she wouldn't know what she'd do if he didn't wake her up. If she didn't have that little boy doing that, I bet she wouldn't know what to do. And after she came home, that reminded me, after she came home with the baby, You know, everybody's always like, oh, it's such a precious thing. And, you know, and she was like, Mama, nobody ever told me that you don't get to sleep. I said, yeah, we did. We told you to enjoy your sleep because you weren't going to have any for 18 years now. And mine has been, I'm going on 25 years now. Even when they out of the house, you still don't sleep. Because I slept fine with my oldest daughter. She slept really good. But my youngest daughter, she was the one that messed my sleep routine up bad. Because she never slept. Literally at 2 o'clock in the morning, her dad would still be up because he was a late night person, and I had to go to work, so I couldn't be a late night person. And I'd always just carry her in there to him. I'd be like, you got to take care of her. I got to get some sleep. I've got work tomorrow. So I'd sleep from 2 to 5 and be at work at 6. And I'm telling you, that sure messes your sleep routine up. But, you know, even after kids are grown, sleep routines don't come back. I think it's, you know, something gets messed up in there. Your clock, whatever that thing is, gets messed up. Not that I don't want to sleep. I do want to sleep, but I just can't. Tell you what, this morning I didn't have to be up at no particular time, but I sure woke up at 4:30. And I was like, no, I don't have to get up, so I'm going back to bed. So I went back to bed. And I woke back up again at 5, and I said, forget it. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get to my list of to-do things for the day, and you know, get up, get my shower, get going, get ready to go, do what I need to do. And that's what I did. Okay, here's another block done. I think we're averaging about 2 or 3 blocks a session, I guess is what I could say, call it. I'm going to try to get more than that, though. Because now that I'm getting used to this, because I'm about 45 minutes in. So I'm going to try to get more done. Now, I do know the more I make these, the easier it will be for me. And I will kind of have it like down pat. I don't know. Honestly, today is such... Yeah, the high today was only supposed to be 75. I don't even know if it made it to that. Because now, like I said earlier, we did have some high wind. And that high wind, it turned my garbage cans over. I had to go... It's got my tomatoes and my okra and my cucumbers all pushed down. Well, it's got everything pushed down, really. It's got, my shampoo ginger is pushed down, and it's got my, I think I planted zinnias and marigolds. I think those are the 3 things, or 2 things I planted. I planted some purple basil too, but I'm just letting the purple basil just grow because I want it to take over this container that it's in. It's in a little kiddie pool, but I'm letting it take over that container. And y'all, I got a big piece of asparagus off of my garden bed today. I am so excited. Hopefully next year all of my plants will be 3-year roots. And if you grow asparagus, you know that you really shouldn't harvest the from the younger roots. You can harvest, but not a lot. It tells you not to over harvest it. And I guess it's because it needs the root system to survive over the winter, you know, to kind of overwinter. So one of my beds, I know for sure, is a 3-year, because it said when I purchased the roots bundle that I purchased, they were supposed to be 2-year roots. So that would have made them 3-year roots last year. But it just didn't seem like it was putting enough off. And I only had like 5 or 6 plants. Okay, something's not right. Okay, well maybe these aren't supposed to nest. I keep forgetting these are probably not. I must have these turned wrong. But it's okay. But the other bed that I planted, I'm trying to think, I planted it this year. I had to remember if I planted it this year or last year. It said it was a 2-year root also. And so technically it'll be ready next year. So I'm hoping, and if you know, asparagus is a perennial. It will come back year after year after year. And that is what I'm hoping for. I'm trying to get a perennial garden so I don't have to re-sow so much. But like one of my beds, I have tomatoes and jalapenos in, or cayenne peppers, just say peppers. I have tomatoes and peppers. And one bed I have okra. Well, those 2 beds will always need to be, you know, redressed, resown, because those are annuals. They are not perennials. And once their season is done, they're done. But I really want to get, you know, more perennials going. What I'm going to put in my the bed that I have tomatoes in, I have to do some research because I'm still a new gardener also. Y'all, I'm a new gardener and a new quilter. I keep saying new because it's been just a little over a year, and there's absolutely no way to learn everything quilting in a year. I'm just trying to perfect my 1/4 inch seam still. And so, you know, I'm okay with that though. That 1/4 inch can sometimes be a booger. I'm telling you. I'm working on perfecting it all. You know, there's several things that I've told people are on my bucket list for quilting. I want to do curves. I actually want to do, what's it called? The wedding circle or something like that. I can't remember if that's what it's called or not. I want to do that. I want to do Dresden plates. And there's some other things that I want to do. I can't remember what all I wanted to do. But there's so many things that I really want to do, because I think they're beautiful. I think Dresden plates are just beautiful. That is something that has been on my mind of doing ever since I started quilting. And really, I don't quilt, I sew. I carry my quilts to the long armor for most of my quilts for them to be quilted. Because I just like a quilt that has the pretty designs all in it. And I can't do that with my machine. I probably could. I could probably get that little template thing that you just run. But, yeah, this is all the space I have. So that wouldn't work real well. Okay, so now we are on our next block here. I'm trying to beat my past record here. I want to get more than 3 done. Which I think I can do that in an hour and a half. But if I cut it here at an hour, I'm only going to have 3 done. Not quite in an hour yet. But as I said before, the more I do these, the easier it gets to put them together. Now, a big thing will be trimming these blocks down as well, because we will need to trim these blocks down to an 8-inch square. And this pattern is free. It is online. The link is down in my description. I am not giving away any kind of information that is not already out on the internet. I will not give out measurements or anything like that for a paid-for pattern. But for a free pattern, it's already out there, and so it's okay. Or I think it's okay anyway because it's already out there. It may not be. But I'm not selling it, so I'm not breaking any kind of, laws or anything. But I have seen several different variations of this, a disappearing whatever patch, 4-patch, 9-patch. I've seen a disappearing 9-patch as well. I think I kept calling this a disappearing 9-patch for the longest time. But it's a 4-patch. And I think this, I've said it before. I think this is an absolutely fabulous pattern to have in your wheelhouse, so to say. If you ever get some charmed squares and just really don't know what to do with them, get a coordinating color. Coordinating fabric. I chose white because there's so many colors in this line that I couldn't pick out a single color to use. And I want the prints to stand out. So I didn't want the color to be bleeding into the pattern, So that's why I chose white instead. Okay, here's another one. So we've gotten 3 done so far. Those are cute. I have 2 of the same squares there. But I think I'm going to call it here at an hour. We are at an hour now. So this video will be probably about 30-45 minutes. Y'all come along and sew along. And this is what we have left. Probably another 15 blocks or so. I'm not sure. I'm interjecting this video right here in to let you know that while I was editing this video, I've realized that I had not done the drawing for the Silverstone participant. So I'm going to show you right here. I have all of the names. I have 20. And I'm using my alphabetics. Well, on alphabetics, you have like 1 to 10, and then you have 11 to 19. There's not a 20. And 6 and 9 gets me every time. So I did 1 red, 1 blue, and then I did an R for 20, and I did a 0 for 21, and 00 for 22. I'm not going to show it where you can see the names. I don't know. You may be able to see the names, but I wrote everyone's name down here. I have my little bucket here. You will see all my alphabets are in there. I'm going to shake it up. And I mean, just so you can see, it's a whole big, all alphabets. And now some are on the floor. Let me grab those because we want everyone to have a chance. Okay, I got them all picked up. I did go through them and count, make sure they're all here. They are all here. So I am just going to, once again, they're all in there. I'm just going to, and if you saw something white in there, this is a sticker in the bottom of the bucket. I'm just going to toss them around here and pull you out. I'm trying to just get one. My 00 or 00 is Connie Jo Perkins. Right here is her name. She's 00 Connie Jo Perkins. So Connie Jo Perkins, you will have until Thursday of next week. Today is, when you're seeing this, it is the 7th. So you have until, what is that going to be? The 12th. You have until September 12th to email me your mailing information. Contact me. Let me know. Or you can message me through our Facebook group if you want to. That will be fine as well. I need your mailing address so I can ship your box to you. I do ship on Fridays because that is the day I'm off. So if you tell me on Sunday, excuse me, it may not go out until Friday because that's the only day that I'm off while the post office is open. But congratulations, Connie Jo Perkins, and I'm very sure you will love this box. If you like to quilt, you will love this box. So thank you so much, and back to the other video. But guys, thank you so much for joining me today. We got the 3 blocks done. That's our normal, I think. But slow and easy. It's no rush. So happy to have you guys here with me today. I do appreciate each and every one of you. If you've not yet clicked on that like button, please do. It does help my video and my channel out. If you've not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would become a subscriber. If you've not already, please leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I am always up for suggestions. Do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Goodbye.